archaeologist, aristocrat, explorer, puzzle solver. In all of her incarnations over the years, from classic and modern video games to live-action films to web series, Lara Croft has left an indelible mark on storytelling. With the latest live-action movie featuring Alicia Vikander in the role now swinging its way into theaters on March 16th, it's time to take a look back at the legacy of Tomb Raider. When Lara Croft first came on the video game scene with 1996's Tomb Raider, the landscape was a pretty male-centric. Originally, Toby Gard, who is most often credited with creating Lara, had designed a male character to be the main option, with Lara as a female alternative. Turns out he wound up liking Lara so much that he decided to make it her game instead, and the rest is history. Or maybe her story. Initially, the woman we know as Tomb Raider was envisioned a little differently. Before she was Lara Croft, her name was actually Laura Cruz, but as the character was being further developed, her English heritage became an integral part of her story, thus the name change. The first version of Lara Croft's backstory is a bit richer, no pun intended, but, you know, like, kind of intended. The aristocratic daughter of Lord Richard Croft, Lara was a bit stuffy and refined until surviving a plane crash that forced her to navigate the treacherous Himalayas for 2 weeks, which doesn't seem like that long, but the Himalayas are very cold. After that, she was never the same and lived for traveling the world and having adventures. The first era Lara would span the length of 9 games with the first developer core design, from her initial appearance in 1996's Tomb Raider to 2003's Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness. Meanwhile, plans were already brewing for a live-action adaptation of the franchise. Several scripts had been written and thrown out, you know, which is what you do with scripts, in the late 90s. But when a screenplay was finally nailed down, there was still the matter of an actress to inhabit Lara.
Absolutely.
When Angelina Jolie was cast, it was a minor controversy among fans at the time who didn't envision an American actor convincingly playing a character with a British accent, but they do it all the time.
It was either that or get my hair highlighted. Smugness is easier to maintain.
Anyway, the project moved forward, and in 2001, Lara Croft Tomb Raider premiered.
This is where I start to have fun.
The film was a box office success, but a critical flop, although reviews cited Jolie's performance and stunts as one of its high points. A sequel, Lara Croft Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life, was released 2 years later, but didn't perform nearly as well as the first film did. The potential for more sequels was eventually quashed when Jolie decided not to reprise the character for more movies.
And it has never been seen since.
When the Tomb Raider franchise switched hands from core design to Crystal Dynamics, Lara's backstory was updated in 2006's Tomb Raider: Legend. In this version, Lara was still the Richie Rich girl she'd always been, but this time around she was 9, and with her mother, when the plane crashed and left them both stranded in Nepal. Lara was the only person to witness her mother vanishing into thin air after touching the sword Excalibur, which, it turns out, is connected to a dimensional portal. Wait, what is an Arthurian sword doing in Nepal? I have so many questions. Anyway, Lara's quest to be reunited with her lost mother takes place in both Tomb Raider Legend and Tomb Raider Underworld, but 2 years would pass before Crystal Dynamics would revisit the franchise again, and this time give it a bit of a facelift. The results were successful, but what differentiated 2010's Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light was the fact that it was the first game not to bear the Tomb Raider mantle. At the time, developers thought that kickstarting the franchise with a new title would start a whole new series, but plans to reboot the character entirely were already underway by that point. Feels like there should have been an inter-office memo there, you know? Enter 2013. The new Tomb Raider reboot by Crystal Dynamics had already been delayed by half a year, but when a new Lara Croft, played by Camilla Luddington, made her debut, it was with a whole new look and an entirely different backstory.
This should do the trick.
This Lara wasn't the older, time-hardened adventurer that fans had come to know and love. A recent archaeology graduate, young Lara Croft finds herself the unexpected survivor of a shipwreck on the lost island of Yamatai, where she must fight to save her friends, as well as face off with any number of threats, from wolves to a violent brotherhood cult to undead samurai warriors. Yeah, that all happens. The franchise's new focus on a survival mode for the character, with a bit of adventuring and puzzle solving mixed in, proved to be the magic formula, and Tomb Raider earned overwhelmingly positive reviews for its pacing, single-player campaign, and graphics. It quickly led to the release of a sequel, Rise of the Tomb Raider, in 2015, which follows Lara's travels to Siberia in search of the legendary city of Pizza, and an artifact that possibly grants immortality. Additional content built for the game sends Lara on several side missions, including a nightmare sequence where she has to fight off zombies to escape. With the video game version of Lara Croft getting a makeover, it was probably time for the movies to get a similar update. For the latest restart of the character in live action, Alicia Vikander was cast to play a young Lara in 2018's Tomb Raider. The new movie definitely resembles the redesigned games from Crystal Dynamics, but although the aesthetics are similar, the story follows a slightly different path. This time around, Lara ventures into a place called the Devil's Sea in search of her long-lost dad, but ends up tangling with her father's rival and a mysterious organization called Trinity.
If Trinity succeeds, our world is in danger.
Lara Croft has undergone a lot of change, but in her over 20 years of existence, she has left a lasting mark on the landscape of video games. Her name is synonymous with adventure, possibility, and just like being a badass. As the franchise moves forward with this new film, it basically summarizes the character in a nutshell, moving onward to new adventures and surviving it all. Here's to you, Lara. May you raid many more tombs in the future. But stay out of mine. Call me my tomb. Get out of here, girl.